Certainly.
Oh, that's,
I'll call this regular meeting of the Port Lavaca City Council to order at this time on Monday, July 14th, 2025 at 6:30 PM. I would ask everyone to please rise. Okay. Ask our new councilperson, Glenn Stewart, to deliver a short invocation.
our loving Heavenly Father, we come to you this hour and ask for your blessing and help as we gather together. We pray for guidance in the matters at hand and ask that you would clearly show us how to conduct our work with a spirit of joy and enthusiasm. Give us the desire to find ways to excel in our work. Help us to come together and encourage each other to excellence. We ask that we challenge each other to reach higher and farther to be the best we can be. Amen.
Amen.
Good job.
Join me in the pledges of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Texas flag, honor the Texas flag. Pledge allegiance to Texas, one state, under God, one indivisible. Our first order of business is to ask if there's anyone here that wishes to make a comment before council when the meeting starts. I don't believe we have anyone signed in to speak. Everyone I see here is here for items on the agenda. We'll move on to our consent agenda, which consists of the minutes of the June 2nd, 2025 workshop session, the minutes of the June 9th, 2025 regular meeting, the minutes of the June 30th, 2025 special meeting, review of our credit card statements, receiving our monthly financial highlight report, receiving our Victoria Economic Development Corporation monthly report, receiving Development Services quarterly report, receiving quarterly capital projects progress report, ratifying the Port Commission boat slip at Smith Harbor to Licencio Reina Rubio, and receiving public workshop event recap report from LJA Architects regarding the Port Lavaca Parks and Recreation Master Plan, and receiving employee training review acknowledgement report ending June 30th, 2025. So moved. We have a motion and a second to approve the consent agenda as presented. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. None opposed, motion passed. Okay, we're gonna first, we'll start with agenda item number 1. We have we will receive a presentation from Victoria Economic Development Corporation Regional Partnership regarding activities in Lavaca County and the region. Jonas Titus.
Good evening, everyone. Appreciate the opportunity to provide an update and kind of talk about some of the projects that we continue to work on. As a follow-up to our discussion towards the end of last year, kind of we are a jobs organization. The mission and strategy of BEDC revolves around the prevention and creation of jobs. We work primarily with like primary employers. And we've had a very, very robust, active period of time, probably one of the most active periods of time this region or this organization has ever experienced. The multitude of project announcements, especially in and around Calhoun County. And so with that, we have access to different softwares and different tools, some of which we have purchased to bolster our efforts here in Port Lavaca. So what we wanted to do is just run a report on some active projects that have announced and some prospects that could demonstrate the potential that the city of Port Lavaca itself would glean if those announced projects and several, these are just a handful. This is just an example. So the announced projects here obviously are the Vinus and the X Energy, but there are two others here that we just kind of incorporated as an example. We can run these on demand. We can run these for individual projects and just so that we can, when a large capital investment happens outside of the immediate city limits of Port Lavaca, the city does stand to benefit in real substantive ways. So this is just an example of that. I'd be happy to go through one by one or go over or schedule meetings at everyone's leisure to kind of dive into this data. But there's a lot of data in here. I won't belabor the points and get all in it, but we're a firm believer that a rising tide lifts all ships, and you get a great announcement, you get a great project right outside your doorstep that everyone, especially those in immediate proximity of the county seat, largest city of the county, does stand to direct benefit. So with that, I'll skip and kind of talk about some of the other things, but please, if you have any questions throughout this, be happy to pause. Another big initiative that we were a part of over the last couple of months was providing a lot of the factual basis for the justification for the transition from the University of Houston system to the Texas A&M system. Those bills were advanced through the House and the Senate, signed by the governor. And September 1, we will have a better resource four-year university serving the region with more direct aligned curriculum and programming. Agriculture initiatives will start next year, and the year after will be engineering program, which is a lot of the larger employers around Fort Lavaca have been requesting. This goes back to kind of how I began a lot of our project announcements. Go to the next slide, please. Here are two different buckets of active projects and announced projects. And the bottom one is one we had a call today on, and we're very excited that it's gaining momentum. We are staffing this one pretty aggressively, and we'd love to move several of these projects from that active negotiations to that announced projects criteria. So as you'll see, announced projects, 1,200 jobs, $6.5 billion. And then if you add those with those that we are on the short list for, it has potential for 2,500 jobs and almost $20 billion of capital investments. And that note I put on the bottom there is, in direct Port Lavaca benefits is that analysis that will show as the projects go vertical, as construction begins, as folks begin, as they begin hiring, those folks will be the direct benefits for not only the school district, but the city of Port Lavaca. So we continue to be firm believers in this plan. We're very gracious to have a multitude of partners and stakeholders throughout the greater region, also working with the Port Authority, Formosa, Alcoa, Dow, and the county to kind of really work together and really see some profound announcements and some great momentum have been happening around Port Lavaca. I won't get into this too deep. I don't want to steal any of the thunder. I'll be traveling, coming up on going to a family wedding, but I know you all have a workshop upcoming, which staff will be attending and be a part of. And Jody's been very gracious and also trying to make sure that we're using every tool at our disposal to continue to make the city of Fort Lavaca more attractive for additional housing development. And then here's kind of a lot of the minutia day-to-day activity. We're working with a couple of projects, retail and commercial projects, and developers and entrepreneurs that are interested in Port Lavaca, that have stakes in Port Lavaca. So we're continuing to do our best to advance those. We are making website improvements. We've been talking about adding an additional designation for film friendliness that I think Diane's working with Jody on. Workshops beginning this summer. We're also staffing in other parts of the region, and then just continuing to build our inventory and our databases, and then some marketing initiatives as far as attending trade shows. That staff has been sharing literature and promoting Port Lavaca opportunities. And then also working with, we were able to join a meeting last week that many of you were a part of the kickoff of the comprehensive plan review. So we continue to be very excited about who we are and what we're doing and what we're hoping to accomplish. So as a regional partner, we try and give any and all services that we have to offer to mayor and council as being one of our prime, most important stakeholders. We consider you all at our chairman circle level. So with the, we have representation on through the interlocal agreement, on our board of directors, invitations to all of our site visits, especially those in the area. A lot of our chairman circle events and anything and everything that we are a part of. We do our best to make sure that city of Fort Lavaca is included. So just continue to be very excited. This has been what we have been calling the golden era of economic development with that $6.5 billion of capital of announced investments in and around the region with several mega projects swirling about. So we just want to drag those remaining prospects over the finish line. And we really see that we're setting the groundwork for a very bright future that we can all be collectively proud of being a part of. So with that, happy to answer any questions.
What's the status of the Linus plant that's coming in close to see you?
We're emailing with them on the way down. There have been with a project like that and having a public sector department when making sure that they are they have that federal buy-in. And as some of the costs have escalated, they want to make sure that that ratio is compensated with some of the costs of the development too is great. So they are advancing still on the property and are really wanting to make sure that if there is opportunity to get more federal assistance, that they are going to make sure that that is agreed upon before they put a shovel on the ground.
And the WGS is at Point Comfort, right?
That is one that we did miss. We finished second on that one. So that project, that was included in that analysis just as a demonstration. So that was the Hyundai Steel project that did ultimately, we finished second in that one. They announced that one at the White House. I told my wife that the loser of the Super Bowl must feel like watching it announced on television. But there are larger projects in our portfolio, so I kept that in just for a demonstration purpose for this. But we keep kind of get an example of the scale of projects that we are.
But we lost it to one.
And how did we lose it?
We lost it for state incentives. State incentives were a big one.
Louisiana.
State of
Louisiana, yeah, Louisiana.
Yeah, south of Baton Rouge on the Mississippi River, so they could do a 20-year property tax abatement and a 30-year sales tax rebate. And there were, there may have been some site things that may have worked better as far as direct access to water, but they're having challenges now. So that's why we haven't quite totally eliminated it from our database and from our portfolio, because we know that they are seeing challenges with development. We know that our site finished second. So we're occasionally reaching out, saying, hello, how are you guys doing?
Oh, and what I saw up there, I think of what's been announced, I saw 1,232 jobs.
Yes.
That's not right.
Yeah.
And so that would be, but of course, all those wouldn't necessarily live in Port Lavaca.
Correct. But a portion of those, so in this analysis, so 2,600 jobs, and this is, you can make an assumption that it estimates that there will be 567 new residents in the city of Port Lavaca.
Okay.
Now, that's not just employee, that's not 20% of the 2,600. That also includes significant others, families, children, what have you.
And realistically, what kind of time frame you think we're looking at?
Our projects take a while. Our projects take 5 to 10 years.
Okay.
So under the 567 new residents, the residential property line goes up 75,000 a year. What's that for?
I'd have to dive into, I could get into that data. There's a whole methodology section behind here, and I could get you a much better answer on that.
Is that because they're all in the term sense or?
No, it doesn't consider any incentive tools that are now.
Glacier, that's the Exxon
That is our code name for Exxon, yeah.
So they're due to start in about 5 years.
So, as they've stated publicly, final investment decision won't be made until 27.
Yeah. The property is supposed to be purchased by the end of the year. Now, they announced that.
Okay, yes.
They did.
Whatever they say.
We don't want to lose a project because of something that we accidentally divulged in a public setting, so I apologize. Being catty sometimes.
Mr. Titus.
Hmm?
So if the city and the county did not partner up and ask BEDC to come in and do the development, and it was just the county, how many of these projects would be that they're all, the county project, we're gonna benefit some of these, but how many of these projects would go away if Port Lavaca wasn't in the mix?
Well, that's tough to say. I mean, we've never asked them that specific question. I think I think one of the things the site selectors have said is our regionalism approach has been very, very well received. They really like to see everybody working together and everybody on the same page. We've invited several of them to our open meetings. We've had our congressional delegations invited to our regional meetings, and they really get to see representation from all the stakeholders. And it really said that it's really setting us apart.
I'm pretty certain if we weren't there in the mix, we'd still have the same projects.
That very well may be true. It's yeah.
This gives us a better image.
Thank you.
That shoe manufacturer, how'd that ever work out?
That one, it doesn't seem like it's going to be a go. So, yeah, we're very thankful to get that lead. We spoke with them several times. That they, we can lead a fish to water multiple times. Sometimes they're not ready to sign on the dotted line. But that's one of the things that I think is where we really thrive and enjoy is we get the opportunity to work on the $10 billion projects. We also get the opportunity to work with entrepreneurs face to face, decision makers, small retail projects, small, couple person shops. So I think, that's another facet that really sets our regional economic development organization apart from the larger organizations, Houston, San Antonio, Austin, that if there was somebody of that scale and scope and size, try and get an answer out of the Greater Houston Partnership, they would be told, well, we'd love to have you, good luck.
Yeah.
We're able to make multiple calls, multiple outreach, offer to host, facilitate, and do anything and everything that we can. I think we're very proud of our customer service.
Sure. Well, thank you. I appreciate it.
Thank you all so much. Greatly appreciate it.
Doing a great job. I think we're gonna put things up a little bit. Instead of going to item 2, we're gonna go to the supplemental agenda item 1. Is to consider the recommendation of the planning board for a conceptual plan for lots 2 and 3 of Mimi subdivision. The ID 94741 and 94742, 416 Independence Drive.
There.
I'll be off guard on that one. Let's see.
Several people here, they don't want to sit through all their,
Right.
it's housekeeping things.
Mayor, council, in your packet, there's a memo regarding consider approval of a concept plan for lots 2 and 3 of Mimi subdivision. As you can see, I've highlighted the 2 lots. Originally, last year, I believe it was last lot 2 was approved for use as a daycare. And the shell of the building went ahead and was constructed. And after that, they decided to not have a daycare there, so they went to sell the property. There's a company now that is interested in purchasing the property. But they're also wanting to take in lot 3 as well. Let's see.
Maybe 1, 2, and 3.
Oh, now it's 3 of them now?
Yes.
1, 2, actually. Oh. They gonna be okay? For the,
The 2 and 3 before, now it's 1, 2, and
they added a lot before the notice.
Yeah.
It's 2 and
1, 2, and 3. It's gonna be the one directly across from Sand Crab, I believe, yes. Yeah, Sand Crab would be those 3 lots. Has the property information attached and has a brief summary of what their intent is with the property. And then a layout of the interior, and how they're wanting to construct it.
Not Derek.
And the very back.
This is a supplemental.
That's why it took me a minute to get rid of.
Yeah, like the last 5 pages. Thank you, Derek.
But yeah, and then it's also got a site plan. I have talked to the realtor and it does say that the limestone parking lot, but I did explain to him about the needed to be a dustless material. And then also some landscaping and sign requirements that may be required that we haven't discussed the finalities about that yet, or the details about it. But they're here, I believe the Southern Gulf and I guess, do you have any questions?
It's gonna be like duplexes or?
No, sir, no, sir.
Business.
So like I said, in that pay in your packet, it has a brief description of what they're doing.
Family dwelling, townhouse, patio.
No,
this one.
The shops.
Here, that's Southern.
it's primary office space, construction, project managers for Formosa region and.
Derek,
Ma'am,
do they need a sidewalk?
Well, they, as part of
The,
development, yeah.
he didn't announce it, but I just.
like I said, this was kind of last minute, so we weren't able to go over all the details.
And again, I mean, council's just approving the land use, basically. It doesn't, I mean, everything, all our other ordinances still.
Does this fit the land use map?
Technically, right, I mean, right now,
Well, originally it was for multifamily. And then
it was
approved
approved.
for the daycare. Yeah. Which would be kind of business type district. And then what it looks like what they're doing, according to this. And I looked at one of their properties online, just to kind of see what their yard looked like. And it was basically just, it had some larger equipment that was stored there. But it looked pretty clean. It wasn't a whole lot to it. It was just a big building. It had a couple of pieces of equipment on it, but
What kind of stuff you guys gonna have out there? What kind of equipment are you guys gonna have out there?
From job to job, we may leave a couple of equipment on there, like forklift on the back end, just, it's not gonna be it's be temporary till we transfer to other jobs or other regions. Not like it's not gonna be such.
20 dump trucks or
No.
huge equipment like that?
bunch of pipes.
Cause this, I mean, the description sounds like industrial more than anything.
The place inside the building is gonna be for our industrial site. That's where we're gonna have our offices, conference room and things of that nature.
Right,
As
yeah.
far as equipment, we may have the occasional dump truck that gets dropped off there and then we take that to Formosa. But it won't be an extended, it's not gonna turn into a big parking lot with a bunch of equipment in there.
it's for offices and for training for your employees. Is that
Yes.
correct?
There won't be a bunch of junk material just laying there in the yard.
No. So the only material that's gonna get delivered is what's gonna be for the immediate jobs that are coming up. And it's gonna get utilized, and then whatever's left over from those jobs would then get scrapped, not brought back to our facility.
Materials like, I don't know,
I mean,
Metal
rebar, yes, it will have construction, still construction material. But again, that's gonna be coming from our vendors, delivered there, and then we'll disperse it to the jobs that are working, and then when it's done.
Do you remember, I'm trying to remember the way we got it done, but the fencing that has the material in it or whatever, the opaque. I mean, that might be a consideration.
I was about to ask you. Like the windscreen or what kind of fence?
It's like a Fairfax. Well, they got it,
That
like
black
on the fence.
stuff.
Like the privacy.
Where it is more privacy, like, I mean, where it's not so apparent.
Yeah, and I don't know if you, I don't know if you recall, but I think, Steve, closer to, what's that, county road?
101?
101.
101?
No.
That's where the Crossroads Tire, he was approved.
No, Alcoa Drive, you did it.
Sorry?
Drive, you
No,
did.
no,
That's.
out there on Independence.
Happily.
Corner.
Oh,
That's happily.
Happily, okay.
Happily Road.
Yeah, there was a tire company that was approved there as well on the corner.
The concept plan was.
Yeah, concept plan.
Because I don't know if you'll be, the questions y'all are asking, I don't know if you're gonna be able to control that over, 20 years from now to say that there won't be this stored there or that stored there. I completely believe these gentlemen and what they plan to do, but you're not gonna be able to enforce that necessarily. But to have some kind of built-in, like screened or, that kind of.
And I think it's not that we're asking questions because we want to know what's going to be put up in our city.
Now, yeah,
Now,
yeah.
in 20 years, some of us will not be here, so.
I'm trying to protect that to a certain extent as well, though, but I think that's.
Like, this is considered approval for the concept plan though.
Yeah, so planning board recommended approval.
We did not have a planning board meeting.
Didn't have a form.
I understand. Okay. So no persons. Okay. Whose district is this?
Well, it's my district. One thing I do know is that according to, A&M came out and used Eldar, a bunch of stuff, and said that area is prime for real estate development versus this is more light industry or industry. So, but we did already approve that tire shop over there too. I remember that.
Well, these are concept.
And we did approve the metal building, but it was a daycare.
That's my thing. It's like, we've had this metal building, we've had other people from wanting to do things.
Yeah.
In most.
I can see it. Metal building and daycare blending into a residence.
Somebody suggested keeping the farm animals and stuff there. That would have never made it, but.
The school wanted.
Yeah.
I mean, a terrible idea. But I mean, something like this, kind of see it. But I think that we would ask, you guys put a good fence up,
I
kind
don't know.
of, so it's not so invasive on. Is there supposed to be a housing development across from it? More, many more apartments and stuff like that would have been what I thought it would have been in line for.
You wouldn't want to put a daycare in it, but.
Yeah, daycare, you can make a daycare.
Well, that was the plan originally. My wife had died of it, Then it went back to Derek and then went back to the Weaver and they recommended probably office space would be best thing to do there. But we already declined other companies that wanted to move in there because I didn't feel like they were proper for that place.
Yeah.
Besides, they seemed to be like.
Are you the owner? Sorry, I don't mean to interrupt you.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, Mr. Garcia, thank you.
Lorena, could you get?
Yeah, I mean,
Everybody-
like I said, I can be open to it if you guys show me a good, some sort of fence or some kind of. Where it makes privacy around it.
That one, plans are, yeah,
We're gonna put the fence up, not necessarily privacy fence, but.
Well, like maybe a screen, those black screens, not just for our aesthetics, but for you guys, so people can't see what's in there and,
The high school has something like that, right?
Or the mayor pigs, like I said, is probably the perfect example.
Right.
Yeah, that's it.
The only thing, without zoning, we can't really
that's what it.
Yeah.
say no lay down yard, no.
Oh,
That does sound, there's gonna be some portion of.
That's fine.
Like,
Oh, yeah.
Here next to the.
Other side of the shop, it's mostly just welding.
Plastic street, in between the fences, right? Just
Yeah.
looking over here visual.
Are you showing that Ameripex, how they did theirs?
Yeah, yeah, but this got more like Lester. You see Lester, the yard is like beautiful.
Yeah.
That's the way this guy's work. They got really, I mean, I know I talked to the boss too, James.
And I'm not worried about it.
He's thinking about putting about $1 million right off the back of the buildings and everything on the outside, office stuff. So it's gonna be, it's not just a plain building. It's gonna be a really nice building, according to what I'm hearing from the owner.
Yeah, all those things sound
So
great.
everything sounded like perfect, you know, we declined other people, called Dallas and said, this guy's looked like they're it, you know? That's perfect. You didn't count on it, that's-
Hey, Jack, what do we gotta do here?
Well, we also need to consider not only the houses that are in there, but right behind it is Bethany Senior Living. And if there's a fabrication shop,
Pretty far.
might be a lot of noise there.
Not a bad. There's
No foul.
No, it's all cropland.
Foul.
It's his offices.
No fat.
No bad.
Better at that.
Now. Just have to keep reminding y'all, we don't have zoning, so you can't.
Yes.
Okay, Jack, I'd like to make a motion to approve the concept plan for lots 1, 2, and 3 of Mimi subdivision.
Second it.
So we have a motion and a second approving the conceptual plan for lots 1, 2, and 3 of Mimi subdivision. Property ID 94741 and property ID 94742 at 416 Independence Drive is presented. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Unopposed, motion passes.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Dallas.
How soon will you guys have it up and running?
They're waiting on this to get going already, so.
Probably November.
When's that gonna be done?
No.
Probably December.
So hand in hand.
Go back to the field.
Couple more years.
There you go.
Farmers, if you can use their road.
It's fun.
Already we could put some restrictions on it, but.
I know, it just seemed like with the tire shop already approved and these guys,
And I think for heading east, yeah, that needs to stay residential.
Yeah.
This will be the end of the line for.
Yeah, and then the rest from the.
Residential.
Thank you. To agenda item number 2, consider the request of United Way Calhoun County for use of the Bayfront Peninsula Park for their annual Family Day on Saturday, September 20th, 2025.
Which way?
United.
Mayor Council, this is, they do it every year.
Motion that we approve.
Jim.
Good job, King.
And take Jim Ward's spot.
Goodness.
okay.
Okay,
Second.
a second.
Okay, and that includes waiver of the fees,
Yes, we waive the fees and invite them in.
but the alcohol fee for Family Day.
No alcohol.
The family fun day.
I know.
Yeah.
Come on.
All right.
Tax on the hot dogs.
Does it make it any?
Motion and a second approving up in your face with United Way for use of the Bayfront.
Okay.
Family Day on September 2025 as presented. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed, same sign. You're not opposed, motion passes. Move to agenda item number 3, consider appointment of members of the planning board for me to fill a vacancy or start a new term of 2 years. Eric?
Mayor, council, in your packet, I have a memo regarding, we do have a vacancy in the board. We've been having problems for the past few years, having members show up. And it's just, there's a lot of times we won't even have a quorum. So I had we sent out an email asking, hey, if you're not interested, please let us know so we could, because we have other people that are interested. We had one person reply back and it was Mr. Elgin. The rest of them said that they still wanted to serve, so hopefully they'll start attending.
Have you found out why you're having trouble? I mean, is it the time? Is it length of the meetings? Is it?
Definitely at the length. These things like maybe last 5-10 minutes, but no, it was, we all had an agreement on when the meeting would be and what time.
You know, things change, so maybe the time isn't good. Can't cross the causeway if there aren't any of them. I don't know what time your meeting is at. I assume it's 12.
You meet every month or?
No, it's about,
Do you meet every?
30?
Just as needed.
sorry, well,
Well, we're supposed to meet every
it's
month.
supposed to be every month, but
I try to meet every month. I mean,
try to.
know that, you know, so.
But if we don't have anything on the agenda, we'll email everybody and let them know in advance, say we don't have anything on the agenda. We won't have.
Or problem, it's just
I'm sorry?
by not having a regular meeting, I think that contributing to the problem. So just. So
Derek, do you have to-
consider?
Live within the city limits?
We did.
Yes,
Yes.
and be a voter.
I'd like to make a motion that we consider Cynthia Escalera for the position.
Second. What about Mr. Rubio?
Well, they only need one position.
They only want this.
Mr. Rubio applied for a different position.
I mean, he applied for this, but he's,
Yeah, I did talk to Mr. Rubio today and he is interested in a different position, different board.
Works out.
So all you need is one
One.
person?
Yeah.
You don't need any alternates or anything?
Well, in the charter, it doesn't say, it says you're allowed to, it's a minimum of 5 and a maximum of 7. It doesn't say anything about alternates. So
Does this bring it up to 7?
this is 7, yes, sir. Yeah, well, hopefully with her local.
Yeah.
yeah.
Right.
So we have a motion in the second, appointing Cynthia Escalera 2-year term on the planning board is presented. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Unopposed, motion is. All right, we'll move then to agenda item number 4, consider approval of a memorandum of understanding between Texas A&M University Corpus Christi on behalf of its Park Research Institute for Gulf of Mexico Studies in the city of Lavaca.
Mayor Council, back in July of 2023, the city executed a 2-year MOU with the Texas State University. That was home of the Meadow Center for Water and Environment. And they handled the project management for the GLO Clean Coast Texas Collaborative Program. There have been some changes to the collaborative program, and the program is now managed by the Hart Research Institute, the Gulf of Mexico Studies, housed at Texas A&M University Corpus Christi campus. Therefore, our continued participation in the GLO Clean Coast Texas program requires a new MOU be executed with Texas A&M University Corpus Christi. The Clean Coast Texas program, it's a collaborative effort to assist local governments with strategies to improve water quality and stormwater management. If you recall, we were initially introduced to the program by Cowan County Coastal and Marine Resources Extension Agent R.J. Shelley. And over the past 2 years, we have benefited by participation in the program with several technical workshop sessions focused on flooding, green infrastructure, and water pollution management. Our Clean Coast Texas team provided technical expertise for a successful application for the Community's Resiliency Grant that we recently received for an updated comprehensive plan. They have also worked with Wayne and I to develop a draft ordinance to adopt stormwater management policies. This draft ordinance was introduced to council in a workshop last year, and after some more editing, we plan to bring it back for further consideration this fall. So as before, there is no commitment of city dollars required to execute this MOU and to participate in the plan. I did provide a website link in your memo for any additional information that you might have about the program. Staff recommends council approve this MOU with Texas A&M University Corpus Christi and authorize the mayor to sign it.
I have a question.
Uh-huh.
You have to have an MOU with both of them or just one of them?
No, we just have the MOU with the Texas State University,
Texas what?
State
State
University.
Okay. Not-
Well, Texas A, I'm sorry,
Texas A&M.
it should be Texas A&M.
That's
who the-
two of them, Texas A and Texas M.
Texas A&M Corpus Christi. That's who,
A and M, that's two of them.
that's who the MOU is with.
Okay.
That way we don't get into the Gulf of America.
Right, they, and Texas A&M, they have, their agreement is with the Heart Research Institute, but our agreement is with Texas A&M. Our previous one was with Texas State, but the new one is with
I
Texas.
make a motion that we initiate the MOU for
Both of them?
both of them. Texas A and M University.
Second.
Has been finished.
Motion and a second approving the MOU between Texas A&M University on behalf of the Charter Institute for Gulf of Mexico studies in the city of Port Lavaca as presented. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Unopposed, motion passes. Includes both A and M. Thank you, Mandy.
Yeah.
As presented.
As presented.
Yeah.
As presented.
So, what, fan or something? It's hot. Can someone turn the air, I think it's 68 or 67 or something.
It's freezing early.
It's at 70.
That's why I say it's already.
There it goes.
Mayor says it's freezing out there. She's mayor pro tem, y'all can just switch seats.
She can step out for.
She's off.
Yes.
Hey,
This poor guy's
Used to the fan.
It's just that collar and the tie.
Agenda item number 5.
Get that top button buttoned up, you can't breathe.
It's hot.
Like 3 in a row here on City Hall. Master.
Okay.
Agenda item number 5, consider resolution number R-071425-1 of the city of Port Lavaca. City Hall Master Plan Phase 4 security upgrades and interior renovations procurement method.
Okay.
Jody?
Raleigh McCoy Architects are in the final stretches of our Phase 4 project on our security upgrades at City Hall that will deal with the north end of City Hall here. We're scheduled to begin advertising on July 30th. About a week before that, we should have a review set to look over and make any final edits. And I get those, I'll send those on to you so you can look at them as well. With a bid opening scheduled for August 21st. As we typically do, when we're dealing with Raleigh McCoy Architects, their recommendation is to use the competitive seal proposal method when we bid. And so in order to do that, there's 4 resolutions that we need to adopt in order to legally be able to do that competitive seal proposal method. This agenda item is, the first one is a resolution that essentially says that council has selected the competitive seal proposal method. And then there's a series of other ones on. I don't know if we want to do them all individually or do them all.
Go one by one.
Okay.
have a record. Okay, so I make motions into my district. I make a motion to consider the resolution in number R-071425-1, the city of Port Lavaca City Hall Master Plan, Phase 4, security upgrades and interior renovations procurement. That's presented.
I second.
Mandy?
Yes.
A motion and a second approving resolution number R-071425-1 of the city of Port Lavaca. City Hall Master Plan Phase 4 security upgrades and interior renovations procurement method as presented. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Not opposed, motion passes. On to the rest of them. Agenda item number 6, consider resolution number R-071425-2, the city of Port Lavaca City Hall Master Plan Phase 4 security upgrades and innovations for the prevailing wage rate.
Yeah, this resolution establishes what council wants to use as prevailing wage rate for the contract. And The resolution selects the wage rate as determined by the United States Department of Labor in accordance with the Davis-Bacon Act.
So moved.
Second.
Motion and a second approving resolution number R 7 1425 the city of Lavaca master plan phase 4 security upgrades and interior renovations for the prevailing wage rate as presented. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Opposed, motion passes. Hey, we move to agenda item number 7, consider resolution number R 7 1425 3 the city of Port Lavaca City Hall Master Plan Phase 4 security upgrades and interior renovations for delegation of authority. Jody?
This resolution establishes myself, the city manager, and gives me the scope of authority as the selection of offerer. And allows me to form a committee to help advise in the selection process and bring a recommendation of a selected contractor back to city council for final approval.
Committee there, Jody, or how many people?
That committee is the next one. This one just is authorizing me to do it, and then we'll have the committees the next one.
Second move. Second, yeah, so yeah.
A motion and a second approving resolution number R 7 1425 3 the city of Port Lavaca City Hall Master Plan Phase 4 security upgrades and interior renovations for delegation of authority as presented. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. And none opposed, motion passes. One more. Consider resolution number R 7 1425 4 the Lavaca City Hall Master Plan Phase 4 security upgrades and interior renovations for selection committee and proposal ranking criteria. Jody?
The selection committee, as we've got in the resolution, which if somebody doesn't want to do it or somebody else wants to volunteer, we can change this in our motion. But as it's written right now, it would include myself, Brittany Hogan as finance director, Mandy Grant as city secretary, and municipal clerks. It's going to be affecting municipal clerks. Derek Smith, we've got Tim Dent and Justin from council, and then Brian Parker, obviously architects project manager.
There you go. Motion and a second approving resolution R 7 1425 4 the city of Port Lavaca City Hall Master Plan Phase 4 security upgrades and interior renovations for the selection committee and proposal ranking criteria. All in favor as presented. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. You're not opposed, motion passing.
And I forgot to just mention that one of the reasons, that we choose this method is on page 140 of the packet, whereas we have scoring criteria for proposal. And the resolution as it is, the price is 50%, qualifications is 40%, and time offered is 10%. And that way, you can, you're not, with just a regular bid, you're basically looking at lowest bid, although, it's still the lowest qualified bid, but this gives us a little bit more freedom to deal with, to look at both the qualifications and the price offered by the bidders.
Okay. We can now move on to agenda item number 9. Consider second and final reading of an ordinance G 4-25 of the city of Port Lavaca, that's codified and described in the Lavaca's Code of Ordinances as Part 2, Chapter 34, peddlers, solicitors, itinerant vendors, garage sales, mobile food units, Chapter 36, signs, and adding Chapter 35, garage sale, providing for purpose of the ordinance, providing for severability, providing for a repealing clause, and providing for an effective date.
Mayor, council, as stated, this is a second and final reading of the garage sale ordinance. As you may recall, last month, there was 3 different options that were given to the council, and Option 3 was the one that was voted on.
I wasn't here last meeting, so I don't know, but I guess I remember we weren't gonna charge permit fees. We were just worried about them picking up their signs after.
Well, it was decided to go ahead and charge and then also charge them a fee if they don't pick up their signs as well. In this ordinance, it's a fine for not picking them up after garage sale.
So we're gonna limit it to just two and we're gonna charge them $50 per garage sale,
The two what?
2 garage sales per year.
Oh, yes, sir. That's state law.
And how much are we gonna charge?
The fee for the actual garage sale is still would remain the same. It's $10.
It's 10, what was 50?
If you don't remove your signs.
I wasn't here. I mean, I guess I was just curious.
Yeah.
It's 50. It's like a flat fee of 50.
If they don't remove their signs. I have a question on peddlers. I know it's not in here right now. Okay, so a lot of peddlers have been coming by. My first question to them, when they knock on the door and I open it, or my garage, because I don't use my front door. Where's your peddler's license? And I send them over here. And they've been coming around a lot. One guy tried to pull out his company. I have it here. I said, that's not city. There's not a city sale. And he tried to brush me off. I said, because I know what I'm talking about. So what happens when they don't have a peddler's license?
Well, they can be fined. We just have to catch them.
Yeah, because I usually call up here and I always get an answering machine. I mean, we peddlers, you know, when they come by for AEP. I always send.
You got an answer machine.
So that's what I usually get is an answering machine.
You call here?
Here. And I don't expect to call back, but I don't get any information. I mean, you know, I don't know.
Wouldn't it be PD that would be the person
I
to?
usually call.
I think, I mean,
Fine for those.
yeah,
And if I catch them, I have quite a bit of work with them.
Because I tell them.
I think it's PD that would be the enforcement side. So if someone didn't have a permit, you could call PD, they could send an officer to talk to them and or
I try to
cite
send
them.
them up here so that they can get a peddler's license.
They're not gonna come up here.
Yeah, I know, but one guy said, well, you really know the directions. I said, I told you, I'm on city council.
you came to the wrong house. Yeah.
Yes.
But a non-emergency call to PD, I think would be the best.
You answer the door.
Let's
see me through the window. I said, I'm good, guy. I'm good.
Yeah, I mean, I don't open my front door. I go through the garage.
My husband they always, every time.
You can see me in the window. I'll say, oh, no, I'm good.
You should
Relentless.
tell them, you need a peddler's license. Where's your peddler's license?
Right.
Right here, Justin.
I let my dog out the front door before I come out. I don't have to worry about it.
We don't use the front door. I go around the garage. So. Use the garage.
Yeah.
Yeah. When my house goes through the garage.
No, that's important to have that clearance of peddler's license because you don't know who's gonna be showing up at people's doors and that kind of. Yeah, single female there. Not a good idea. And they shouldn't be answering the door, but still, that's still not a good idea.
Well, that's why we require the background check and everything else. So.
Perfect.
I had one guy wanting to come inside and use the restroom.
You wanted to case your joint.
Right across the street.
For permit and everything, if you have anything.
Yeah, I don't have
Should we like call the?
It's called PD.
Oh, PD.
88. 3788. Anonymous.
Yeah, I got.
They call dispatch, can't they, chief?
Better call the dispatch than your number.
Yep.
The non-emergency line.
I just.
Yeah, not 911, but
That's a different number. 4408.
It's 553.
Prevent
Dispatch, right?
a sexual assault or something like that. It's important.
Hey, Derek, back on the garage sales. So you can only put signs in your yard, the place that's having the garage sale?
No, it states in here, let's see, if you go to
I saw it, I mean,
Let's see.
His number.
No, gave the police the.
He goes.
It can't be.
Okay, 30.
City property or private property without the permission.
Yeah. 5523788.
And C,
So you can't put it out in the right of way.
553?
3511, that talks about the,
Yeah.
have one on your property.
553?
It tells you, you can put it on somebody else's property, but with their permission. You can't have it on utility poles, you can't have them in the right of ways. You know, just simple things that most people don't know, but they should.
Yeah.
We try to tell them when they come in to get their permits too.
Okay. And then, the city's Facebook is still posting all the garage sales weekly.
We haven't been real active on doing that because, they've been pretty, they pretty much do it on their own.
Yeah.
Okay.
I thought.
Yeah. Yeah, they do it on Port Lavaca listens or some other, or listens more, or which, I don't know how many pages there are.
listens.
The others.
Better.
They all give me a headache.
But when we initiate this, though, we can go back and start doing that again.
Yeah.
It's not too much.
Oh, I like that.
As a benefit for getting your permit, you know, you can be.
Yeah, and that's one of the things that we're working, Tanya's helping us work on is that we're starting up our own Facebook page just for our department. And that way, like on Port Lavaca Listens or something like that, we could post, you know, events that are happening in our department, that's one of them is garage sales. Towards the end of the week, we can put the list of all the garage sales or properties.
Yeah.
Um,
Advertising.
yes, sir.
That's good.
So the nonprofits are allowed 6. Is that also state law?
I believe so, yes, sir.
Do you have a motion?
What did we edit there, Tim? We changing that?
We didn't change.
No, we didn't change.
I wouldn't change it.
$10 for a permit and $50 for the fine if you don't get it the next day or when.
Well, it's 24 hours. I mean, we're gonna have a little leeway, you know, but I know like when I used to have to do these garage sales, you know, when we got done, I'd go around and I'd pick all my signs up, you know, that's just what I did. And that was before I even knew we had city ordinances, you know, but no, they don't care.
And then,
They care if you do it before the garage sale, I guarantee you.
and then 2 weeks for political signs. We spent 2 weeks.
What's that?
Well, this is 24 hours. Political signs is, 2.
Is it 2 weeks?
So there's
24 hours is pretty tight.
the $10 is in our
Fee ordinance.
Yes.
Okay, Jack, so I'll make a motion to approve the second and final reading of ordinance G 425. The city of Port Lavaca amending the ordinance codified and inscribed in the city of Port Lavaca's code of ordinances as listed. Can I say that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Second?
Second.
Motion and a second approving the second and final reading of ordinance G 4-25. Codifying and describing in the city of Port Lavaca's Code of Ordinances, Part 2, Chapter 34, peddlers, solicitors, itinerant vendors, garage sales, and mobile food units. Chapter 36, signs, adding 35 garage sales. And providing, so the ordinance providing severability, providing repealing bond, providing an effective date as presented. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
The opposed, same sign. Unopposed. Motion passes. Second final reading is approved. Right, we'll move then to agenda item number 10, consider second and final reading of ordinance G 5-25 of the city of Port Lavaca, amending the ordinance codified and described in the city of Port Lavaca's code of ordinance as part 2, chapter 12, buildings and building regulations, addition of new article 5 Building Standards Commission, providing for the purpose of the art, providing for severability, providing for repealing clause, and providing for an effective date. So Eric?
Mayor, council, second, as stated, the second final reading for the development of a building and standards board. There were options, for appeal that were presented to council last month, and option 2 was decided, was voted on. And that was to, if they decide to appeal, it does go directly to district court.
Meaning it doesn't come to council.
Now, and I do want to reiterate that this is not, this is just a policy for right now. It's but that option, choosing that option is not an ordinance change or anything like that. So if for some reason the council decides to want to be the appellate board for some reason in the future, it's not going to take anything to go ahead and proceed with doing that. This is just a procedural thing for right now.
So, sorry, I missed the last meeting. In the absence of a zoning ordinance, what would this board actually do?
This is for substandard buildings. Yeah, that's it. All the ordinances in there. You should have it attached.
It's so that substandard buildings don't have to come here. Council.
Instead of bringing it to council, it goes to a different board.
Remember, Victoria does that.
Most cities do this.
5 members, how many alternates?
Well, it'd be up to, it'd be 5 members. And then I have, I just went with state law. They allow up to 9 members. So that's the way I left it. Alternate members.
So first paragraph says city council. So.
Yes, you may.
So if we can't get people on our planning board, how are we gonna get people on this board?
You asked them because
Oh, no.
a lot of people interested.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Me too.
Yeah, this is, I think we'll get some people interested. Hopefully.
Mr. Barr wants to get on there.
Good.
Yeah.
Give me names. I would be more than happy to call them and explain to them what their job would entail. But,
Well, who want beautification? This is a more streamlined process and more active process to get those substandard buildings moving along and monitoring, and y'all have a lot of other things to do. So this kind of to the.
yeah, y'all could take care of what, the day-to-day activities, what, city council needs to do. Yeah. And we can have another board that'll take care of the.
Pretty sure the reason this is here is because city council is considered to be too soft on this, and so kind of.
Framing it wrong, Tim.
To another.
It's to beautify the city. That's what-
Well, you gotta understand, whenever I present properties to the Building and Standards Board, I'm bringing maybe 10 properties to the board. You don't want me doing that in a city council meeting, because we'll be here until midnight at least. So like Anne Marie said, it's more streamlined. You can have more properties dealt with, more monitoring, like she said. It's a lot more involved, instead of bringing 2 to the council and then the next month bring another 2 and then bring another 2 back after you monitor. And then, we're taking, I usually had 10 on the list, usually 8 to 10.
Usually the members have more expertise in construction matters and.
Yes.
See what's realistic to.
See if the building is salvageable.
So Tim, I never felt that at all. This is very common with cities. A lot of times city council doesn't want to get in those kind of weeds, literally. So.
I appreciate you guys putting this together there. And I think it will help out the city. So I'll make a motion to approve this ordinance G525 of the city of Port Lavaca as read. Is that good, Jack?
Yep. Second. You get the G-5-25 in there.
We have a motion and a second approving the second and final reading of part
Of an ordinance G-5-25 of the city of Port Lavaca, amending the
code of ordinances codified and described in the city's Port Lavaca's Code of Ordinances as Part 2, Chapter 12, Buildings and Building Regulations, addition of new Article 5, Building Standards Commission, providing for the purpose of the artist, providing for servability, providing for appealing clause, and providing for an effective date. So all in favor as presented, all in favor, aye?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Just one.
Two.
Well, and you.
2 to 4, so ordinance passes.
I hadn't said either way.
Presently.
Yeah,
Present.
oh, I opposed. That's 3.
You did oppose? So that's gonna take Jack.
3 to 3.
Yes.
So I will vote to approve the ordinance.
Had a long speech from John Clegg, he's on the board of Victoria, of how good their ordinance is and how good the committee works over there. Good idea, here.
Well, I heard they're pretty tough over there, but if I know Derek and I've seen them in action, like people walked in while we're talking, Mr. Muse the other day. Derek works with the people of the city. If they make an effort to talk to him, he makes effort to talk to them. It's not like we're gonna be out there just tearing down all the houses, so. With that being said, I'm anxious to get started, you know,
Appreciate it.
Right from the houses.
clean up the city. That's what we're here for.
Yes.
Just remember, we're Port Lavaca, we're not Seattle, we're not Houston.
We are Port Lavaca, and it needs to be clean and
Well, we can start with the parks,
we can start with this too. We can do many different faces.
you know, you have a park in your neighborhood that needs to be.
Let's move on to
Moving on.
agenda item number 11.
I do not, that's not my district.
It's
You gotta look at the map.
Agenda item number
Because you put it in my court and I took care of your
Thing.
We'll consider the first reading of ordinance E-7 25. City of Port Lavaca, amending ordinance codified describe the city of Port Lavaca's code of ordinances as part 2, chapter 8, amusements and entertainments, section 8 to 22. -22, location and number of machines allowed within the city limits and providing for a purpose of ordinance, providing for severability, providing for a appealing clause, providing for an effective date. Sure.
Mayor, council, in your packet is memo, as you might recall in in the workshop, chapter 8, section 8-22 of our code of ordinances states you shall have no more than 6 amusement redemption machines or redemption generator machines for a profit at any given location. However, if a corporation operates as a nonprofit, then we don't have an ordinance that limits the amount of machines that they have. And we have a gentleman that is one that right now he has 70 machines. He's 10 of them are getting worked on and he'll ultimately have 80. I do want to restate or correct myself from was it last week, whenever it was, the special meeting. It wasn't Aces that had the 60 machines. It was just outside of town, the old man camp. It was a misunderstanding between me and the gentleman that's wanted to open this up. Yeah, it's about 4 or 5 miles to the left, maybe not even that far.
Continental. Oh, the Continental.
But Aces and Coast, the Third Coast, they have computer monitors. They call them three liners. I don't know what the difference is. He probably does, but I have no clue. I think they're still random generator machines though. So anyway, that being said, at the meeting, the council decided to not limit the amount of machines and just continue to just regulate them. Let's see, after discussion with council, it was a general consensus to not have limitations on the number of amusement redemption machines or random generator machine businesses operating for profit. So included in the memo is that section reflecting that request. I have, after some thought and some conversation with, even with the gentleman that's wanting to open up this thing, He did state that we do need to go up on the cost of our,
Permits.
the registration of each machine.
And we'll be
He
looking,
said
The guy,
I told him 10,000. I did tell him that was discussed. No, I'm kidding. But,
Yes, we gotta let them have all the machines they want, then they can only have 6 operating, the rest of them are non-functional.
How are we gonna monitor that? What,
the way this is read, the way this is.
4 or 6 machines, they
Deleting for profit or deleting any limitation.
yeah,
Okay.
so I'm sorry, go ahead.
When Dennis came back and told me the next day that was a result of the meeting, I about fell out of my chair. He had worked, so I'd written this ordinance back when, and it was because in cities, there was a proliferation of these gaming rooms, and it really attracted criminal element to town. I think Colin can speak to it. That it was, and cities all over the state were working on banning these, and now we're saying we're not gonna limit the number of machines, we're not gonna limit.
I was under the impression we were talking to Sarah. I thought that was one of the things that we were talking to Sarah about, right? Sarah, right?
But Sarah doesn't really want to be involved in the conversation. She's going to be brought the cases from people
Right.
or sheriff's department. But she's going to prosecute where there is prosecution. But even having these, in Victoria, they had shootings, guns, they had.
And I think part of the discussion during the workshop was that we really haven't seen that at this point. But
Because we got rid of them.
I don't know where they are. I do, but obviously other people don't know where they are.
Well,
We banned them.
one of the things that Scott was also putting a limitation on the number of the types of amusement centers within the city limits.
Yeah, so
So
is banning them altogether.
right.
But I know there was a discussion that they might serve some purpose and limitation, perhaps, there was people have some place to go and do something, and.
well, that's the last time. Remember, we had all those retired teachers come up and talk to us about not closing them down because they didn't have anyone.
Those criminals.
They want to spend their grandparent and their grandkids.
Those criminals.
And you're right. Yeah, that's all.
I have no, but it just surprised me.
I've seen people go in there on payday and spend their whole paycheck and come out with no money.
Well, they'll do that with alcohol too. I mean, it's just
saying.
Just cigarettes, whatever.
Simply remove the for profit and leave everything else the way it was.
Well,
But how are we gonna manage that?
the issue, if it's against state law to begin with, I guess, that was another discussion, was we had a
Yeah.
concern regulating something that was illegal to begin with. Hence, we wanted a declaration or a,
Is it illegal if it's not a profit?
the DA on whether that's, we should even be.
The reason we put the for-profit in is there are exceptions for charities to be able to do this if they get a state permit, et cetera. But,
For profit.
I think Dennis gave y'all the whole deal on about whether the machines are constitutional or not, or that, but there's no, the state law has a state law, but it was kind of like, if you'll remember, when the Kush and the THC and the THC levels and those synthetic marijuanas came out, they were selling them and selling them and selling them. They were illegal, but you had to test them and all that kind of thing. It's very similar to that. So these machines, we can let as many be in there as you want, and then, be up to the law enforcement to figure out if they're either doing money under the table or whether the machines themselves are legal or illegal, or I don't know what else she had said about that.
It's like what I said last time. You don't have that enforcement component. There's not really, people are gonna come, they're gonna bring the machines. And the synthetic marijuana is a good comparison because synthetic marijuana has always been illegal. but you have stores that sell it. If the enforcement isn't there to
Tell them
put
about that
some power
ins-
behind it, then there's no.
But and the synthetic marijuana, you'd have to test and you have to do sting operations basically on,
They don't talk.
yeah, so the,
Yes.
but on these machines, what you're just gonna have to, the police are gonna have to run stings and stuff for to catch people.
It's the same process. I mean, there's a lot of work that has to go in on the law enforcement side to enforce the illegality of it. So
And yeah, and he was gonna show up today, this evening to kind of explain what his intentions were, but I'm surprised he didn't show up. He was here earlier.
No, he unknowingly, he
Yeah.
came for an appointment at my office and started speaking and he said machines and I said, stop talking. And I encouraged him to come to the council meeting. Now, he would like to work out something with the city where these machines are, he will donate, kind of operate it like a bingo operation is the way I see it. Because the way a bingo operation works is the net profit they have to partner with an approved charity. And that approved charity, of course, that's all licensed at the state level. That approved charity gets their net profit every month. But the bingo operation gets to charge rent, they get to charge, sell food, they get to put their accounting costs and all that kind of stuff before the net gets to the charity. I think he's trying to set up that same kind of situation, but there is no state method to really do that with him. But he wants to do something locally. Now, if y'all want to do it, certainly we'll write up an agreement, but I'd hate him to be able to just go in and open up and not do a charity now if the council wants to open it up to everybody. I am concerned though, because he has apparently signed a lease based on the fact that we didn't have anything preventing him from operating, really.
Right.
Well, I didn't think it was gonna be brought back to us this time. I thought there was gonna be more discussion.
I told you I was gonna bring it to the.
And I mean,
In the packet.
pass it, we can pass it.
Yeah, we can continue to discuss it, but this, after our discussion, I went ahead and I just went with after the end of our discussion, that's what I brought to council. Now, if you want to just push it and wait until the following month or include that maybe in another special meeting.
I think, I would pass to Colin more than Sarah, because Sarah's really just she has to be brought these cases by PD or sheriff. It's really what it's going to be from Colin, from the law enforcement perspective.
Right, for sure. So I can give you my experience. And we've actually rated 3 of them in my tenure, or not while I was chief, but while I was an investigator. There's a lot of money that goes into it as far as the undercover aspect of it. And we end up giving everything back. So if, we can investigate, but if it's not going to get prosecuted, you just kind of dump a lot.
So you're saying y'all give it back because they don't prosecute it?
They didn't get prosecuted, all 3 of them that I've been involved.
So it's more of a disorderly conduct issue. If it gets out of control and you get called in, then that's an enforcement you can do, but that's not.
Just like Anne Marie was saying, some of the original stuff was to prevent a lot of these armed robberies and stuff that were happening in, say, Victoria was prime example. They had a really big one when they were first coming out.
Get shot?
Yeah, it was the one on Laurent. So I think limiting and then enforcing what you have on books is probably best as far as that goes. And they always come up with new tricks. Because of the charitable, I've never heard of that. So obviously it's circumventing what you have on the books to try to get them to, just like as far as synthetic. That was at first, it was legal, and we turned it to a class C, turned into a felony. So it's always revolving and changing. So. But I just know as far as working those cases, and then not getting results is a concern.
So how are we gonna regulate? We're regulating this one. What about the other ones? Are
It'll
they,
be the same thing.
I mean,
We're gonna have to,
they're not
this
nonprofit.
is what's on the books now. I mean,
No.
right.
this is what our regulation is now.
And two, I think they might have changed it too from a game of chance to skill.
Maybe
And I
that's how
think
they're.
that's the next, as far as the next evolution
Well,
of trying.
Dennis talked about that.
And now that you say that, the other ones are using computer monitors, so I guess moving the mouse and clicking is the skill.
Apparently. That's too much what it is on the other one, but I
Yeah,
mean, they're calling them skill games now. I think that's a new tactic. They're trying to go in that direction.
Yeah.
But again, this is where the investigation from the police department, because if you go in and they're really not in fact skill, it's simply moving something.
right,
It's still a game challenge.
yeah.
So we had the limit of 6 to try to discourage big operations. That's when it was passed by that council at that time. But we do not have it on the books right now. And I think the intention was, I think we followed the bigger city like in coming up with it. I think the thing was, if a charity wanted to bring in these, get the state permit, because they're allowed to have a once a year raffle, that kind of thing. That's the only reason I can see why the for-profit's in there. But if you decided to go with just taking out the for-profit and keeping the limit of machines, this gentleman, he could bring them in until we get the ordinance passed. And then we could give him a grace period to get them out. So it can be, he's not going to be grandfathered in if that is a question. That's what I wanted to let you know.
Well, how we got rid of a lot of too was this, locations, they had to be so many.
You couldn't be within a school.
That's 1,000 feet.
Yeah. That's how we got rid of a lot of them the last time.
And I don't know, because this is, that he wants to go into the strip mall though, right?
Oh, he's already in there. Yeah, it's right next to Ace, Hardware.
Okay.
All right.
And I measured it and
Got skill.
there is a church across the street that is right at what's that?
Church or something like that by the old Whataburger.
Yeah, he's right at the 1,000-foot mark on that one, but everything else, he's free and clear from the 1,000 foot. So he meets that requirement too. So he knew where he was wanting to go. He meets the setback, the separation requirements.
So I think we ought to raise the fee for, for licensing or regulating or whatever, having a machine, raise the fee. And stipulate that they can have 6 machines, but 3 of them unplugged. I'm serious.
Yeah.
See how far that goes.
Well, if you,
And then police department walks in, it's not, 3 of them are plugged in, 6 are plugged in.
you got juice. Yeah, he was saying,
Money back on that.
he was saying that a lot of cities charge 150 per machine or 100. 500?
I
No.
would say a nickel, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, 500
Oh, more than that.
per machine per year.
Yes, more than that.
Then it came up that pool tables are also fall under this, so then every pool table would have to be $500 a year? Is that right?
that's included,
That's a complicated issue.
well, it says specifically in there that it does include, pool tables.
Mhm.
Uh,
They have to be licensed for sure. They'd have different fees.
yeah, but in our ordinance, you still have to register.
And that's very common. For a pool table.
Yeah, and I would think like, I'd have to look at the ordinance again. I'll have to pull it up, but I think even, jukeboxes,
As far as the fees, the fees themselves are in the fee ordinance that we'll need to
Bring back.
Yep.
Yeah.
You can separate out, you can put specifics in the fee ordinance so that you're not
in one or the other.
blanket charging somebody 10,000 per machine. To quote Alan from our workshop.
No, they're not gonna make that much money off those pool tables, I can guarantee you
No,
that.
I wouldn't even include a pool thing. That was legal stuff. But those machines, they're habituating. They,
Addictive.
you know, pool table, you can stand up just so long and you gotta get out of there. Knock those, but
If we don't.
those electronic machines are mesmerizing and habituating. They can, a person get addicted to those pretty quick.
Now, if you wanted to let this be your test, you could also, pass this ordinance tonight and we could test it out. And if it becomes bad again, then
I do like an idea of limiting the amount of amusement centers that can be, we should have a separation requirement between amusement centers to where we can't have like, a Reno here or something, or Las Vegas, have so much of a set.
free in the whole city.
Well, you can't have one within, say, I don't know, 30,000 feet from one another or something, just some, I don't know, we'd have to come up with some kind
A
of
mile.
Do this.
mile, yeah.
You might have 3 machines and a 2,000 square foot building. That's all you're allowed. That way, if they want to they'd have to rent another place at $2,000 to put 3 more machines in.
Yeah, right now, amusement redemption machine and random generator machine express. It includes video game machines, pinball, football, coin operated pool tables, music machines, pay toilets, pay telephones, coin operated rides for children, so on and on. So it's pretty much everything that's coin operated.
What does the city of Victoria do?
I'm sorry?
What does the city of Victoria?
They back theirs off. I'll pull it up, Tim. I have not looked at that.
I know that.
But they don't have any there.
I know that they allow them to open, but then they come in and close them after a week or two. That's all I know.
It's like the federal government in a state like Colorado. Colorado can sell marijuana legally, but it's against federal law. And federal government can shut them down anytime they wanted to.
State.
It's the same concept, state can shut our do down.
And if we have no ordinance, then what's the ramification? Then,
I think they can just
No.
come in and there's no fee to,
but it's against state law, right?
no. Illegal machines are against state law.
If it's
I'm
not,
saying they're not illegal machines. But then there's constitutionally, they could be illegal machines, but that hadn't really worked its way through the criminal system.
Convince the guy he wants to do amusement machines, tell him to open a kids arcade. That's what we need. We don't need an adult arcade.
There we go.
Let's see, amusement redemption machine, game room inspections. Or compliance, a person commits this often if they operate or allow operation of a game room within city limits without a properly issued current and valid game room permit. Or the lessee of it too. So, lessor of it. So if you lease it to a game room.
And they're not permitted, they can get in trouble as well.
Mhm. Let's see. Definitions, game room inspection, compliance with our.
So when you put those machines in, Derek, he hadn't signed the lease yet?
oh, he did. No, he'd already fixed the roof, I believe, on that building, the AC, the landlord. Ma'am,
He brought this to us last week.
he'd already done all that work to the inside. Yes, ma'am.
He signed. it.
And he redid the meter loop outside and ran all the plugs for all the
I
machines.
think, and he did that because of where it says for,
Because he
was,
Victoria says for profit.
yeah. But I mean, it could, but since he, in his mind, he's doing it nonprofit, then there was no regulations for him.
do they have
I don't have any agreement, but it is nonprofit.
do
I know.
they have a limit on the for-profit though, on the amount of machines?
Mm-mm. Not that I see definitions.
Is there a limit?
I don't see a limit.
No, I would see that it would be an issue, if we had a bunch of them in town. Because then there's gonna be a lot of under table stuff then, because we don't have the number of people to keep those businesses, that many open. So a lot of it's gonna be illegal.
Well, I think too, each one, if you approve this, then somebody else says, hey, they're doing down there, we'll lock it. You're gonna have another one, you're gonna have another one, have another one.
That's why I wanna live.
Yeah.
So you're gonna get into that situation.
Let's,
People coming in from all over.
do you think like a buffer between, like she was saying, like maybe a mile or something like that, in between amusement centers or something?
Yeah, I mean, you just have to do something to keep the blood from coming, because like I said, it's testing. It's same as the smoke shop.
I think
same
we
as-
pass it or reject it.
In 3 square miles.
study.
Yeah, because maybe we. That's the exact.
So their amusement redemption machines are not children. It doesn't do pool tables. It says a recreational machine that provides a single user or multiple users with an opportunity to receive something of value other than the right of use. A point operated amusement machine designed primarily for children is not an amusement redemption machine.
Issue with
Seeing
the.
ours are children, even the kids game.
There, he's already.
Well, if he somehow does in fact come up with some kind of nonprofit status, I guess, because we're.
He's got he's got it, not this.
It's operated,
He's got
Got the 6.
not for profit.
yeah.
That is not the same as a non.
He's a 503c6.
Okay, C6 is like a chamber of commerce.
That's what I was saying, yeah, I don't see.
That's not from the state. So you have to get that from the feds, not from the state.
That's why I sent all that information to you, see?
Yeah.
How about this?
Cause he's not even like the Chamber of Commerce, I mean, that's.
So everybody that comes in and plays a machine, they have to pay a $50 fee to the city. At the door, they have to pay $50 to the city. If they hadn't paid that, if that guy has not reimbursed the city for all the people that's in that building, then they're cheating the city. They're stealing from the city.
Yeah. Sounds like we need a little more research.
Can't monitor that.
Let's make a motion to
How
pass.
about that, Ms. Onsay?
Push.
But
What do you think?
I got 10 participants in the building as they walk
Make a
in.
motion to
If
pass.
$50 action fee
We'll
to
get
be able to play the games
Okay.
to the city. And they collect at the door for the city. If they don't pay the city that $50 fee for each person, then they're in violation of ordinance. Deter people from walking in there.
Motion and second to pass.
That's what?
the
We're still talking about it. Yeah, go ahead and make a motion.
I did.
Oh, we did. While I was late.
We're having a discussion.
Oh.
Not to approve it, but to pass.
Pass it for more study.
One more step.
Yeah.
I'm looking for their fee.
Is there some, I hate to, I'm sorry, I know you're in the middle of a vote, but is there some direction that the council would like to go with this?
Yeah, I think,
What do you want me to find out?
I think
Study.
City of Victoria won and see what issues they're dealing with and if they had to do again, what would they do different? That'd be one. Then
Okay.
the DA, I guess, the other thing is just, would she be willing to prosecute if the issue comes up? You know,
I wouldn't think that she would answer that.
Yeah, I mean, and two, the example I was given was 400%. Maybe it'd be different.
So check with the city of Victoria and
I guess the county has one or two. Let's find out what's going on in the county.
They're very limited as to anything they can do because of
they don't,
the way they.
For a good reason. So I'm wondering if we shouldn't go that way.
yeah, they can't really enforce anything on that type of.
They're because counties are limited in what they can regulate.
They don't regulate the ones that are out in the field.
Very limited.
But we can find out what issues they've had with them.
That's true.
Roland, you're killing me. Complaining, but
Yeah, 11.
So we're gonna vote.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Same sign. None opposed, motion passes. Item 11 passes. It's passed.
It's passed. Pass is passed.
So for them, they have coin operated machines permits are $15. And then $5 fee for sealed machine release.
Jeez,
That's cheap.
yeah, we're expensive compared to
Now
that.
for pool room, to have a pool hall permit is $25.
State? Victoria.
Yeah, so maybe we can look at more than Victoria.
Yeah.
Be somewhere that's a little bit more in between.
Yeah.
still like Alan's idea. These people have money. Take it.
Sadly, it's not usually the people that have the money.
That's right. They don't have money.
And the people that don't have money go in there and spend all their money.
Yeah.
But they walk up to the door and they have to pay a $50 fee. They can turn around and leave. They're not, and that guy is, he's gonna have to move his building somewhere, business, sell those machines. I'm telling you. Charge them $50 at the door. The city gets reimbursed. If they don't get reimbursed, they're in violation of.
It's an interesting concept, Alan. I don't know that it's a bad idea.
$50 admission fee?
Comes to the city.
Yeah.
Well, they have to pay it so it's the licensee that would have to pay per person.
Then you could have an undercover guy sitting outside the door, see how many people enter.
You gonna be undercover?
I don't know.
Isn't that what the mafia did to the people running businesses in New York?
About $50 fee per person. Yeah, I'll be there.
Move on to agenda item number 12. Consider first reading of ordinance G-8-25, the city of Fort Locke amending the basic traffic control devices. Ordinance G-6-86, section 3, by adding traffic control signs in Brook Hollow subdivision with the local laws and effective date.
Mayor Council, this is pretty much the next neighborhood that we did was Brook Hollow. It's went around. See where there was missing stop signs that were there are now gone, street signs, all that. And so it looks like Brook Hollow has smallpox or chickenpox. So that's all the stop signs as far as suggesting them on the intersections.
So those were there before, prior.
Some weren't. But I went on Google Maps. There were some that weren't there already. Some of them were suggested.
The neighborhood.
Stuff like that. That's right. And the idea is to break up the long passes as far as that goes.
Yeah, I understand that.
Hypothetically speaking, if I've spent all of my sign budget, I can borrow from you, right?
Yeah.
I mean, 36 stop signs here. Those things are like
Yeah.
$80 a piece.
An installation on top of that, right?
Yeah.
Well, we can help you out when we charge for the machines.
There you go.
So we need to charge 80.
Well, Colin, initially when I saw this list, it's kind of like, wow, that's a lot of stop signs. I just asked for that one at Sunnydale, Willowwick, and then I got about 50 of them, or however much this is.
36.
Are you worried it's too much money or?
No, I wasn't thinking about that. I was just thinking about traffic in the neighborhood, but
It's gonna add another.
put it online for some feedback from the neighborhood, and overwhelming people were very happy about it. So
Yeah, but the ones that usually speed through Brook Hollow are not the ones that live in Brook Hollow. It's like over here on Bower and all that. They're not the ones that live there. So,
Yeah.
the neighborhood can say yes, but they're not the ones that are in violation of causing issue. Right.
As far as some of those three-way intersections, that was to combat a lot of plant traffic that is coming.
I mean, I think it's a good idea. That's what usually happens.
What we're gonna do.
I don't know.
wow. So that being said, I'd like to make a motion to accept these Changing the stop signs here in the Broccoli.
First reading, the ordinance.
Yeah, the first reading of ordinance G 825.
Motion and a second approving the first reading of ordinance G 825 of the city of Port Lavaca, amending basic traffic control devices ordinance D 6 section 3. Adding traffic control signs in Brook Hollow subdivision as presented with a no clause in effect. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Unopposed, motion.
There you go.
Do all the dots. I wonder.
Who dare ever recommend?
Okay. We have a that on.
No one, that's vision.
Yeah, it's gonna make by a thing, I will announce that council will retire into closed session for consultation with attorneys on matters with the general counsel under disciplinary conduct. Clearly conflicts with open meeting act, chapter 551, section 551, 071.
Oh, please.
Oh, yeah, bring you one.
Please.
Please.
Oh, please.
Ew.
Oh.
I will announce at this time that city council has completed its closed session on this 14th day of July, 2025.
Tomorrow.
We will see, starting with going to agenda item number 14, where we return to open session with any action deemed necessary from the closed session, and I can state at this time that there is no action to be taken. So I would entertain a motion to adjourn. Salute.
Thank you.
Motion, a second to adjourn. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Hearing none opposed, motion passed.
Okay, we're gonna be closed session.